Sure. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy has begun its journey from last 1,444 days, and today we have a wonderful guest in Dr. Marian Salcedo. She is one of the best personality from the Latin American country, Bolivia. She is one of the person who is the coordinator of International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy in Bolivia and in those part of the other part of the country. And she is one of the personality who is moderating our session during our celebration time, as well as a coordinator doing, and she is the person who is translating the for other doctors who are having presentation in different languages from other part of the world. So she had presented so many presentations in this forum. All presentations were related to homeopathic philosophy, and that is one of the best things that we have seen from her presentation. And today, as you all know, she is a homeopathic doctor having a very good knowledge, and she is a bachelor doctor with a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery and a homeopathic physician in Argentinian Homeopathic Medical Association. She is a member of Thomas Pablo Homeopathic Medical School, M Public Health, mentioned Epidemiology, Universidad Mayor de San Andros, and Master in Physiotherapy, Person Chile, and postgraduate in phytomedicine. And she is an European Master of Dermopharmacy, Spain, and the principal investigator of Integrative Medicine Research Team Hospital de Ciencia La Paz, Bolivia, and graduate professor of research methodology, Loyola University, Bolivia, and author and principal investigator in several double-blinded randomized controlled clinical trials. And she is a postgraduate teacher of Loyola University, Bolivia. She is having experience more than 18 years. And today she is talking about the behavior of water in homeopathic medicine. As you all know, people used to say that homeopathic medicine is being diluted in water and is using a single part, but actually it is not. Homeopathic medicines are potentizing in water. Never we dilute the medicine and use it. That is something different. So what is the action of this water with the medicine? That may be the subject to talk, and whatever may be, let us listen what she is about to talk. And we are very happy to welcome Dr. Marian Salcedo to this session. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Ganesh. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever this conference finds you. At first, I would like to present my apologize because maybe there will occur some English mistakes because it's not my native language. I am trying to improve it, and that's my commitment that I will do my best. So I will share with you my screen. Please, can you tell me if you can see it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. It is an honor for me to be on the IFPH platform. We always see a very nice conferences there, and thanks to all the team of IFPH, especially Dr. Ganesh, for this invitation. So many greetings from La Paz, Bolivia. Today we will start speaking about the behavior of water in the homeopathic medicine, because we see wonders with homeopathy, but until now, we don't fully understand the mechanism of action of the homeopathic remedy. That is why I want to present to you some hypotheses derived from the exhaustive study of research in homeopathy. So we will start looking what about homeopathy and what about the research in homeopathy. So here we have the time that was started the research in homeopathy is base data from PubMed in America. And the first published study or research in homeopathy was in 1827. And then we can see the increases of the research. But these times, since 2005 to 2021 and 2023, we have many kind of different studies about homeopathy and how homeopathy is working in different kind of illness. The most important was on pandemic times, where homeopathy was proved as a nice medicine to take care about respiratory illness. So these are the studies published. We don't know really if we have more or less research in homeopathy, but these are all the publications that you can find. Nice, something interesting that I don't share with you. These are the countries that have more studies in homeopathy. So for me, it's a blessing to share with you all because you are from India, and India has the most important and nice studies in homeopathy. Also France and Brazil in South America. So in the world, these three countries has a lot of studies or research in homeopathy, in clinical cases, in the approximation of how it's working, for example, and another kind of nice studies. So now we will start speaking about the behavior in living systems. So living systems behave in a different ways. Each one respects another. So we have two kinds of behaviors. The first one is order, and the second one is the chaos. The third one is like an order in the water, for example, under certain internal conditions of the molecules and external factors, the molecules will be ordered and they will form ordered structures. This kind you can see is very ordered, very nice, very clear. And this responds to order. But there are another conformations. You can see, for example, in the stages, three different stages, solid, liquid, and gaseous. These kind of comportments in the molecules are responding to the order, but there are other conformations that respect chaos, where we see a different kind of structures like this one. This is not an uniform, can you see the difference? It's not uniform as the structures under the characteristics of order. In this way, every disorder, every imbalance leads the system to a new order to maintain the stability, as we can see in this picture. From the chaos, we come to the new order. And this is according to the chaos theory. Well, so we will talk about research aspects. The aspects that I'm going to touch here are focused on the water molecules as a living system, the quantum as a means of explaining the therapeutic effect of the homeopathic medicine, nanotechnology that shows homeopathy as a nanomedicine, and a clinic with the indisputable results in the treatment of all of us. Of the multiple pathologies, including those that are difficult to treat and that we have seen throughout these thousands consecutive days of Zoom meetings at IFPH. These concepts can be applied to the explanation of the high dilutions that we use and the dynamizations that are typical concepts in homeopathy. So we will start with a nice phrase from Pierandra Nostro about the water, who says, there are very few things that modern science does not understand. One is the consciousness, and the other one is water. So the status of water in living systems is reviewed from the philosophical and scientific viewpoints. We have antecedents that show us how the water is considered as a living system, starting from the antique Mediterranean civilizations throughout North and African philosophies, in order to convince that water is a prerequisite for life apparition. So now we can see the structure of the molecule of water, and the water molecules will seem too simple in this visible appearance. However, it's a molecule that encompasses the greatest mystery in the nature, I believe. So here we have the molecule of water is formed by two hydrogens atoms joined by covalent bonds to an oxygen atom. The chemical formula of a water molecule is H2O, and a covalent bond, this one, forms when the atoms share electrons to fill their balanced electron shells. As we can see, the bonds in the water that join the hydrogen and oxygen molecules are not real, but they are energetic, are electrostatic. So we have mysteries in the molecule of the water, and we conclude that the water molecule is complex in its design. So we will try to explain it or to understand it about different theories that are planted in the Infrared Review on 2019. So the first theory that explains its properties says us that it's very complex in design. So it's incredible to thought that one molecule, the same molecule, can have different stages. The thermodynamical theories show us that each substance can be characterized by its internal energy. On the quantum states, we know that accessible at a certain temperature and pressure. And in the same molecule can coexist different kinds of states that speak us about stability. Not only because of the hydrogen bonds, the covalent bridge it has, but in the ability it has adopt different states will be in the same molecule. And about this, we can explain that the water have this kind of unions. This is the oxygen atom, the hydrogen atom, and has little bonds that inside the bonds there are a lot of different kind of structures. It's not just one electrostatic bond. Inside has a lot of behaviors and a lot of particles and a lot of information and a lot of magical mystery things. In the unions between oxygen and hydrogen, these links exist as you see in the graph, represented in a simple way. However, the complexity is that it cannot be easily explained. Each hydrogen in this kind of molecules it carries structures called covalent hydrogen bridges, these ones. In them, what is primary is the vacuum, and these structures will be responsible for the ability of water to transfer information. So the water has the capacity to transfer information, and it has the possibility to keep inside all the information that you can give it. So this is the basis of the studies of Dr. Masaru from Japan. But what could be even more interesting is the coexistence of water states in the same state. For example, in the liquid state, there are air, gas bubbles. And when we speak about the hydrogen bonds, it's not clear what is happening there. And we have to ask ourselves, what pushes water molecules to form two liquids of different densities that have quite different local structures and dynamics? This is not yet understood. The key point seems to be the ability of water molecules to undergo electronic self-excitations using virtual vacuum energy. So we believe that in the material world, we have all the energy, we have all the information, and that is not true. The most important information is in the virtual vacuum energy. That says the quantum sciences. Quantum field theory, which allows direct coupling between matter and photons, predicts that two different shapes could be expected for water molecules. When the water molecule is not excited by the virtual energy of the vacuum, it adopts an almost spherical shape. This spherical shape is called van der Waals interactions. That is typical of liquids. And on the other hand, self-excitation towards the Rydberg states located in the oxygen atom using the virtual vacuum energy leads to the typical tetrahedral structure of hydrogen bonding. In this second tetrahedral shape that shows strong cooperative behavior associated with the quantum coherence typical of the other type of liquid. So we have two kinds of structures in the quantum field theory that is based on van der Waals interactions or Rydberg states. And it will be depending from the external conditions, and the result in the same molecule will be very different. Well, these are fascinating, and we have to understand three important concepts to understand how is the behavior of water in the homeopathic remedy. The first concept is coherence. The coherence is the synchronization and coordination of components in a system. There are fascinating interactive phenomena that can influence the properties of materials. So this one is the most important. The second one is the epitaxy. The epitaxy is the formation of ordered crystalline structures, and this is happening in the water molecule. And the colloidal nanobubbles. That is the gas that is existing in the liquid form, in the liquid stage of water. These concepts are very important to know to come closer to understanding the action of the homeopathic remedy. So let's remember and try to think like Nikola Tesla, who said us, if you want to discover the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And this one is a quantum mechanics, is a superposition principle. As homeopaths, we understand this principle of superposition. It is like in the graphic you can see, we have different kind of waves, but when two waves coexist, one of them is larger and follows another smaller in this case, the larger wave will overlap, canceling each other out as a possibility. So it's amazing to think about it because we're in 2024 and Dr. Hahnemann already explained this principle to us as a fundamental basis of homeopathy, a distinctive characteristic of quantum mechanics. So when we prescribe an homeopathic remedy, we are looking up this effect. We have an artificial illness in the homeopathic remedy to overlap the illness that the vital force is showing us as a symptom. And now we will travel into the cells. If we go down to a molecular level in our organism, we will remember that the cells are related to each other by the extracellular matrix. The cells are not living alone. They are all connected in all the body. This extracellular matrix is composed of water, and the excitability of each of them is transmitted by this matrix, water. At the cellular level, there are vibrations and molecular movements processes that can generate low amplitude acoustic signals, but these are not perceived as a sound by the human auditory system. For example, cells and molecules in the body are in constant motion, and vibrations do the biochemical activity and metabolic process. This behavior of body water responds to the same laws of quantum and second law of thermodynamics, superposition principle. So we will start speaking about nanotechnology. And we will remember Richard Feynman that said us, what if we could arrange the atoms one by one at will? Richard Feynman is the father of nanosciences. He was Nobel Prize for Physics on 1959, atomic and molecular rearrangement. And he told us that there is the possibility to work of Diana objectives. So what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is the science that is dedicated to the design and manipulation of matter at the level of atoms or molecules for industrial or medical purpose, among others. So we have model studies to understand homeopathy. Within nanotechnology, we should have the following clear concepts. The first one is the existence of clatratres in the water molecule. In all the water, in all the stage of the water, we will have clatratres, especially in the liquid stage. Clatrates are crystalline structures formed by the inclusion of guest molecules in cages formed by host molecules. So these kind of structures have the capacity to include information. And where is this information included? Is in the hydrogen bridge between the oxygen and hydrogen molecules. These clatrates can exhibit unique properties and have applications in various areas of science and technology, and specifically in homeopathy. In homeopathy, we open these clatrates with a dynamization process. So this is the importance that we have in our process to make our homeopathic remedy. The second concept, important too, is the coherence domains that are microscopic regions within a material in which magnetic moments are aligned in a common direction. These domains represent an internal structure of the material and have an important role in the macroscopic magnetic properties. And the third one, very important too, is nanoparticles that they are found in a lot of studies of our homeopathic remedies. So nanoparticles are a small particle that range between 1 to 100 nanometers in size, undetectable by the human eye. Nanoparticles can exhibit significantly different physical and chemical properties to their large material counterparts. So this concept is developed in a better way in the International Review of Neurobiology. So in this congress, in this journal, is very nice because all the nanotechnology or nanoparticles are included in our science, in medical sciences. And that's amazing because the neurobiology are accepting that nanoparticles has a very important effect in the body, in the human body, and in the function of the body. So in the neurology sciences, they are starting to use nanoparticles. But it's important to remember that homeopathy, since Dr. Hahnemann gave us these nice sciences, he was using nanoparticles too many years ago. To get an idea, we can see this relative size of the particles. So we see a comparison from a human hair. If you can look very close, a grain of fine sand, leukocytes, erythrocytes, and viruses. You can see the viruses are very smaller, so this is a possibility that they have to be included into the erythrocyte, for example, in dengue, or leukocytes, just for the size. So if we start to think that the sun exists, we feel it, but we can count it. This is the procedure will be more difficult if we wanted to count a number of viruses. In this sense, nanoparticles are even smaller, but they exist, and they exist in the homeopathic remedy. And we will define what is nanomedicine. Nanomedicine is a field of medicine that relies on nanotechnology for the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of diseases. It uses nanomaterials and nanodevices to improve the accuracy and effectiveness of disease. detection, and treatment, offering new opportunities for the advance of modern sciences. So we can see here is the erythrocytes, very small, and there is a nanobot. Currently, there are postulates of these kinds of dispositives that are called nanobots, which will be devices smaller than an erythrocyte, and which once injected into the organism could perform quasi-perfect monitoring of the cell development. So this is the last technology that are working on. But we have to translate these concepts to our science, to homeopathic science. We know that nanobots are very smaller, but we have nanoparticles too in homeopathic remedy. So they have the possibility to go into any kind of cells that we have in all the human body. That's very important concept to keep it in our minds to understand the action of the homeopathic remedy. And this is that research that show us that concept in a human cell model. This is the study for Dr. Luc Montagnier, that show us the effect of two oligonucleotides highly diluted and dynamicized, targeting in the TNF and genes, and in the receptor P55 on the inflammatory response of macrophages. So we can see here that oligonucleotides reduce inflammations in the higher dilutions. This was the trials about centesimal scale, starting with 15 and going to 18. And we can see that one remedy, a single remedy, works in a different kind of Diana organs in the macrophages. For example, reducing this kind of molecules, structures, who aggravates the inflammation. So the homeopathic remedy has different kind of interventions in different cells in all the body. So it's difficult to understand how one remedy, a single remedy, is working in different Diana organs in all the human body in the same time. So we have that in 2016, it was published and recognized that the homeopathic medicine contains nanoparticles. It's a study for Dr. Rajendra, and is published in the Journal of Homeopathy in Mexico. Ultra-pure samples that were examined by scanning electron microscopy and scanning transmission electron microscopy and energy dispersed X-rays analysis and trace elements analysis were done in different kinds of homeopathic remedies and Hahnemannian remedies. And they found nanoparticles and their conglomerates with the crystalline in nature and rich in silicon. So the homeopathic remedy has a lot of nanostructures that always, if we see in a chemical study, we will not see that, but they are existing in a quantum level. And we have here another research on 2018 that show us that homeopathy is a form of nanomedicine, and it is important to use it in the treatment of epidemic infectious disease and another kind of diseases. So according to Paolo Bellavita and his research, it is likely that the active ingredient molecules act as a nucleation centers, amplifying the formation of supramolecular structures and organizing the solvent. And maybe this is the answer that we have nowadays when we ask ourselves, how is working the homeopathic remedy when I give to my patient? So let's speak about dynamizations according to Dr. Hahnemann. Is the process called energizing, potentizing, development of medicinal power, and the products are energizing or potentizing to different debris. So you can review the Organ 6, its 6th edition in the paragraphs 269 and 295. And Kahneman told us everything about dynamization. So that's very important because in this process, everything develops and at an interface between gas and water nanobubbles. We will remember that we always use a liquid to start our homeopathic remedies. The first steps will be the triturations, and then we have to dissolve in liquid, in water, in alcohol, and then we have to dynamicate it. So in this bottle, we have water, of course, we have alcohol, we have the first active ingredient, but in this water, this little amount of water that it contains, we have different stages of water. We have liquid one, and we have the gas, the nanoparticles, the colloidal properties of the water. And in this little bottle are coexisting the water liquid and the gas, that nanobubbles. In addition, there is an electromagnetic radiation that remains closest in the coherent domains in the water molecule. The water organization structure emit waves and preserve the information and repeat the structure as a feedback, which shows stability in the structure. So once we did that dynamization, in this remedy, in this bottle, we will have a very, very nice and perfect stability of the information and in the homeopathic remedy. So this is very important to keep it in the mind, to understand, because when we shake the bottle, we are opening those nano bubbles of gas, and we are reorganizing the hydrogen bridge in each molecule of water. But there is more interesting because in the water, polymeric structures were detected and they are organized into small polymers that are labeled over time. They are destroyed and reproduced. They are a real phenomena that the photons that are self-maintaining by electromagnetic vibration waves that remain for days and hours. These structures are made of organized water that contains DNA sequences in electromagnetic format and can encode anything with coherence domains. This means that from the vacuum, material can be created for electromagnetic information. So this is a sample of water, and a lot of people tell that, yeah, homeopathic remedy is just water. Yeah, in a macro view, we can just see water, of course. But if we make a zoom in, we will find a different kind of structures and many kind of structures inside molecule. And this is how the electromagnetic format can encode anything and can reproduce that information that we gave, that we sell in the hydrogen bridge, in the covalent hydrogen bridge in the molecule of water. So every time that we shake the bottle with our homeopathic remedy, the molecules of water are opening in the hydrogen bridge and are giving out the information of the homeopathic remedy, or are including a new homeopathic remedy, a new information. That's the reason why we always shake the bottle of the homeopathic remedy to not repeat the same remedy. Every time that you shake, the remedy will change, never will be the same. And that is the requirement of the vital force for the healing. I would like to share with you this notice, this news from Mexico. It's very nice. This is a publication made in Mexico in 2018 that indicates the latest news in green chemistry, the creation of nanoparticles of gold in water. This indicates that the conclusion of the previous slide is real. It's not just theory. We can have information from the vacuum and we can create material, in this case, material gold. Gold nanoparticles was created in water. So we have to remember, maybe this graphic will help us. In the homeopathic field and in homeopathic remedy, we are working with information. In homeopathic, we work with all the concepts that we now study. We work with information that is transmitted from the homeopathic medicine to the organism, generating from the law of superposition of physics, superpositions and a new order according to the law of chaos, applied to the biology of disease to health. Once Avogadro's number has been exceeded, the information is transmitted. Water can be structured by biological molecules and preserve the information of these at high dilutions. There is water plus biological molecules in homeopathy, and a solute in water is a coherent set of molecules. If you dilute it, you add more molecules. The water is structured into coherence domains sits on a nanometric scale, linked to the structure of the vacuum. It says that there are more coherent water molecules. The more domain of coherence, the more activity, because there are more domains of coherence and there are more information. According to Platon, wherever the art of medicine is loved, humanity is also loved. And I'm sure that Dr. Hahnemann loves us with all his heart, so he gave us the best medicine that we have. In the clinical area, homeopathy has also demonstrated great effectiveness. We have different kind of research, but I will show you just two by the time. And the first one is the study about copaiba homeopathic remedy, or copaibo. This is a resin from South America. And we see an exceptional action for the control of edema and inflammation. These are just one kind of research from Virato and collaborators et al. In the Journal of High Dilutions on 2009. That show us in the results, when you put two very close copaiba in the treatment with corticosteroids or indomethacins, you will have the same reaction with indomethacin according to control the inflammation in the action of inhibition of granulomatosis tissue. And for edema, is very close to the action to the dexamethasone. If we want to compare, we here with homeopathic remedies are very close in the effectiveness of the treatment of this kind of pathologies. At the human biological molecular level, we have been able to verify that this action begins on average 10 days in the control of inflammation and the control of antibodies in rheumatoid arthritis illness. This study was carried in La Paz, Bolivia, was a pilot study, and we just have the molecular PCR, CPR for you, reactive C protein, and that show us the diagnosis and the follow-up in the rheumatoid arthritis. So in this study was carried out with 3 groups by 8 persons each one. And we can show there that the action of the homeopathic remedy begins on average of 10 days after the start of the homeopathic medication. That's very interesting because with a control group using the allopathic remedy, this effect we can see it in the day 20 to 24. So it shows us that homeopathy is a very effective and quick medicine. Its actions is very quickly if we have the ability to choose the simillimum, the most perfect remedy for the illness and for the patient on that time. So it's a little review just to keep in mind. If you make that dynamization, we are changing always the remedy, and is the different of chemical. If we have a spoon of sugar and a glass of water, we put the sugar, we dissolve it, we will take it and we will feel the sweet of the sugar. But if we put 1 spoon of sugar in 1 liter of water, maybe the sweetness will be different. And in the quantum medicine, in the nanomedicine, in the quantum file is the opposite. So we have in 1 glass of water, 1 amount of water molecules that will be bigger in a liter of water. So that is the reason why the diluted homeopathic remedy is most powerful than the less diluted one. Just to keep it in mind, remember that in the water molecule, we have a lot of structures and nanostructures that are coexisting different kinds of stage in the same molecule. And when we do the dynamization, we are breaking out the nanobubbles and we are taking out the information that it has. So with this, I want to conclude with my deep admiration for Dr. Hahnemann, who in his genuinity has left us the most important medicine that we have, the more ahead of his times and even our times. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you very much, Dr. Danesh. Thank you all for paying attention, and greetings from La Paz, Bolivia, South America.
Thank you, Dr. Marian Salcedo. It's really a wonderful session. You have shown the beauty of science and mixing with the same to homeopathic philosophy, and how homeopathy works in those conditions with the science behind the homeopathic medicine's action even in water. That is something great. As we are used to say that the nanotechnology as well as the latest dynamic theory, all those things need to apply in our science. But some 250 years back, Dr. Hahnemann foreseen all these things and predicted that homeopathy will work in all conditions. We use several substances like sugar of milk, pill, then pills in as well as water as vehicles in homeopathy. But when a medicine we use it in sugar of milk or in a pills or in a water, the working conditions are entirely different, and the results also may be different. The speed in the early part of our career, that means about some 30 years back, we used to give homeopathic medicine in water. People used to, since we practices in local area, people used to bring a bottle, 100 ml or 200 ml bottle, in which we took some sterilized water, and then we just pour 1 or 2 drops of the homeopathic potentized medicine. And then during fever or even diarrhea or whatever may be the condition, we in acute diseases, we used to ask the patient, you can take a spoonful every half an hour or 1 hour or 2 hours. Frankly, it has a very good result. We got excellent result in those days. And not only that, we were able to get back some money. That is very, we could give treatment at low cost also. That is one of the things that I would like to add to this session. Anyway, there are people who are ready to talk to this session. I invite Dr. Beatrice Gesser from Germany to begin with, and then I will come back to Ram Paresh sir.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. So thank you very, very much, Marian, for that really great session. And the topic is so interesting to talk about water. perhaps I did not understand everything, but I get more and more the idea what's behind. And like science is also discovering now what is behind the existence of water. And for me, it's so spectacular that in these times, Dr. Hahnemann got that idea to shake the bottle. But you know why he did get that idea? He was very much involved in chemistry also and in pharmacy also. And his wife was the daughter of a pharmacist. And he's saying, I tried to get the substance more strong and more clear of action. And for this, I was shaking in water and alcohol to have a better coherence. Coherence is the right word, to get it dissolved in a better way. We also do these things when we are cooking. When we are cooking food, we also have to do these things with water and emulsions, and it's a simple thing, but to explain how this is working in the cells and in the molecules and in the borders was very, very interesting. Thank you very much. I would have one question, Marian. Could you perhaps explain again how they were able with nanotechnology to produce artificial gold?
Okay. Thanks, Beatrice. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's amazing for
Yes.
me because we are in 2024. Hahnemann speaks this too many years ago, and I'm not sure because he was a really genius man. So I'm not sure if he doesn't know these kind of concepts. In my mind, it's just in my mind. I think that he knows, but he write in an easy way to give us a better understanding of that. And about the gold molecules, nanoparticles was an experiment made in Mexico in 2018 that you have just water and they start to stimulate the water, the vacuum between the bridge and between oxygen and nitrogen atoms. And there is just codified information that it gave. And they wait some time. I think that was 7 days. And in 7 days, then when they did the specific studies and they they found in the water a nanoparticles of gold. So if they can do it, if they can demonstrate that, we also can demonstrate that. In all the remedies, on homeopathic remedies, we have that kind of nanoparticles, that kind of DNA sequenciation, and they are very different each to other. So then I can share with you the link of the study, so you can go deeper in this research.
Yes, thank you. So interesting. It's so much looking into the future now to have that kind of science. Thank you very much for explaining, Mariam. Great session. Thank you.
Now it's
Thank
up
you
to,
very much, Beatrice.
thank you, Dr. Beatrice. And now it's up to Dr. Raparisa.
Thank you, Dr. Marian. Very nice presentation. Excellent session. Barter memory theory. Very good. Advanced bills, dynamization, electromagnetic energy, homeopathic medicine. Very nice presentation. Marian deals nanotechnology and nanoparticles according to barter. barter कहा गया है, मनोज जी का गाना है कि पानी रे पानी तेरा रंग कैसा, पानी रे पानी, वाटर रे वाटर, पानी रे पानी तेरा रंग कैसा, जिसमें मिला दो लगे उस जैसा. थैंक यू, वेरी नाइस.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ram. It's an honor for me, and thanks to Dr. Ganesh who motivate me to be here speaking about this topic.
Yes, now it's up to Dr. Parthas Chakravarti sir from Malaysia.
Yeah. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Marian, good evening from India, Malaysia. Very nice presentation. unique presentation actually. It's a subject, slightly different subject. We have been hearing about this water molecule memory, water memory, since a long time. Now, I've got one question. Can you just explain about the copaiba, that thing that acts, along like dexamethasone, you just told, in edematous cases?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Dr. Parta, for your kind words. It's always nice to share with all of you. The copaiba study was carried out in Brazil. Copaiba is a resin from South America that we have in Brazil, Peru, and Bolivia. It's a resin for a tree, and typically in the ethnomedicine, it was used for inflammation and from the muscle contractors. So it's typical here, if you have some muscle contractor, you just take the resin and give a nice massage in the area, and that will be enough to reduce the inflammation and the pain. And then in Brazil, they made the copaiba study as a homeopathic remedy. The dynamization that were studied was the 6, 1, the 12, and the 30. It was in a Hahnemannian point of view, in the approach of the patient. This is one research, and the other one is just something like a little remedy for inflammation and pain, muscles pain. And in the rheumatoid arthritis, copaiba was studied for the control of the inflammations. And we can show that if you just use for pain and inflammation and competing with dexamethasone, you have the 46% of effectivity to control the inflammation and pain in rheumatoid arthritis versus 58% with dexamethasone. Which is the difference? Because it's very close, the effectiveness. But the big difference is that with the copaiba, you don't have homeopathic remedy, you don't have collateral side effects. And in dexamethasone, you have a lot of side effects. And it's not possible to use in some kind of patients, for example, with diabetes. Here we don't have this indication. So we always will see that homeopathy is the best medicine that we have in our hands because it has no side effects, it's very effective in every kind of research that you can put it homeopathy. You put it in the clinical area, you will see effects. You will put it in the quantum area, you will see effects. You put it in the electromagnetic sequencing, you will see effects. So the homeopathic remedy is very complex to understand. Until now, we don't have all the answers how our homeopathic remedies are working, but we have a lot of results in different fields. So that is the importance of this. This is the reason why I decided to share with you all this information.
Actually, copaiba, so far as I knew, I have never used it in these rheumatoid arthritis cases. We normally use it in urological cases. I've used copaiba in a case where the patient was on catheter actually, and after giving copaiba, the catheter can be was removed. So this is a very new information that I got, and I'll use it in my clinic definitely. Thank you very much for the information.
Thank you very much. You are welcome. And another little tip too, that copaiba homeopathic remedy is a very little research, but it shows very nice effect in controlling inflammation of meningitis.
Oh.
So maybe it will help you and all your patients too.
I will try. I'll try and let you know the feedback.
Thanks.
Okay.
Let me know the results.
Now I invite Dr. Gracia Angela Baristo.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás, Marian? Vamos a traducir,
Hola,
dale.
Claro. We will translate.
Este foro comenzó como una forma de difusión y una forma de encuentro entre los distintos homeópatas del mundo, pero se ha convertido en una fiesta. Traducirlo hasta ahora.
So the IFPH started for the diffusion and promotion of homeopathy and for the meeting of all the homeopathic doctors around the world. But nowadays, these meetings are a knowledge party.
Una fiesta para nosotros, porque en distintos lugares de trabajo y distintas formas de estudio sobre la homeopatía, le estamos engrandeciendo. Todos estamos aprendiendo de todos, maestros y alumnos somos en el mismo momento.
So it's a really party for us because we are learning each other and teaching each other from all the parts of the world in one meeting.
Te agradezco, Marian, mi amiga, ¿no? Te agradezco, mi amiga. Espectacular y bueno, muy bien y gracias porque es un aporte académico que a todos nos sirve para seguir adelante, para saber cuál es el camino, para saber qué es lo que estamos haciendo.
So thank you very much, Marian, my friend, and thanks for sharing this information because it will motivate us to still growing together and to understand what we are doing.
And now I invite Mr. Ahmed Hassan from Saudi Arabia to say a vote of thanks as well as have a chat with Dr. Marian Salcedo.
Thank you very much. Nice presentation, evidence-based.
Can you hear anything? Is there any technical problem? I think there is some technical problem. Otherwise, Dr. Anjana, you can say the vote of thanks. Dr. Anjana.
Rajendra, please go ahead.
Vote of thanks. No, she is not. Anyway, Ahmed Hassan sir, can you speak once again? There was some technical problem with you. No. So it is up to Partha sir, Partha Chakrabarti sir to say vote of thanks to this session.
Thank you very much. I've forgotten. Gracias muchas. Now, what do you tell in Spanish? It's correct.
Fine, gracias.
Very good.
I'm learning Spanish gradually, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was really nice. What can I say more than that? And a new piece of information. Every day we are learning so much. And Dr. Marian has actually, ignited a new interest about Copaiba, especially because I've been using this drug. I'll be using it. Thank you very much. Do come in this platform with more information like this. We need these things. Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh. Thank you, Dr. Marian, Dr. Beatrix. Thank you.
Thank you. Tomorrow we will have another big day. We will have a presentation from Dr. Beatrix Gestrow from Germany, and she will be talking about kalium salts, a broad spectrum in homeopathic treatment. So, wishing you all the best and hoping all of you will join us tomorrow at the same time. With that, we come to the end of day 1244. And it is over to Dr. Dr. Shaila to moderate the Malayalam session. Thank you all.
Thank you, all doctors in English session. Thank you, Dr. Dhanesh. എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ മലയാളം സെഷനിൽ നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടി ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുവാനായി എത്തുന്നത് ഡോക്ടർ സജിമോനാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ക്ലാസ് ശ്രവിക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി ഇന്ന് ഈ മലയാളം പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ സൂം സെക്ഷനിൽ എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ ബഹുമാന്യരായ ഡോക്ടേഴ്സിനെയും ഹോമിയോപ്പതി സ്നേഹികളെയും സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനെയും എല്ലാവരെയും ഞാൻ സന്തോഷപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇന്നത്തെ ക്ലാസ് തുടങ്ങുന്നതിന് മുമ്പായി ഒരു നിമിഷം ഈശ്വര പ്രാർത്ഥന.